Hiya, this is the FTMUK collab channel week 16. I'd like to apologise for the horrific quality of this video. My camera's broken, so I'm having to use my webcam to record it. It's a joy. Right, topic this week is tips and advice. Yeah, no more guidance on than that really. So I'm just going to assume it's like general tips and advice for trans people, which is a bit silly really because everybody's different, but there you go. Right. I guess if you're thinking, you know, maybe I'm trans kind of thing, and you're not really sure, you haven't got anywhere with it, I guess I was always really worried about it. I think I've been one of the most worried people about being trans, or whether I'm right or not, actually, out of a lot of people, because I was really worried about going on T and everything, simply because I was terrified, you know, what if I'm wrong? Not that I've really got any evidence that I am wrong, but, you know, it's the fear is there, I guess. So what I'd suggest you do is, I guess, try living full-time for a little bit. Obviously that's going to be very difficult, or certainly live part-time in some places, you know, before you start to properly come out to close family members and stuff, just because if you come out to them and then suddenly decide, actually no, it's just a weird gender thing that I have, as opposed to actually being the opposite sex, then you'll just have screwed them around a bit. So what I did, I was really lucky actually, because I went on World Challenge over the summer, and I basically came out to my World Challenge team. The World Challenge is like an expedition, so I went off to Russia for 4 weeks, and I basically came out to my team, told them I was a bloke, and they were actually really good with it, and after a bit of practice they were absolutely fine with my name and pronoun, and yeah, it went great, you know, and I really flourished, I guess, there, you know, which did help me to realise I'm actually happier being a guy, I'm more me. So yeah, I'd recommend that. I'd recommend sort of coming out to somebody who you think will take it the best, and then trying it out first, I guess. It gives you more experience. I don't know, it made me more confident. Also, I'd like to say it is okay to be really quite scared, because I was complaining to a lot of people, you know, I'm absolutely bricking it, because I was, and, you know, about coming out, about starting to live full time, about going on T, and as each of these milestones came up, I started getting really quite worried, because it's each one's a step that you can't go back from, and I don't tend to, well, I am quite a reckless person actually, but I guess maybe not in that respect. So yeah, I got quite scared about it, and I was asking a lot of people, you know, were you scared beforehand? And they said no, but, you know, they said no, I wasn't really particularly worried. But a good friend of mine actually said, he's not on T yet, and he said he is very scared about going on T himself, even though he's quite sure he's a man, and he thinks that actually a lot of other FTMs are just not admitting to the fact that they were scared because they don't want people to doubt their masculinity, which I quite understand. I really do, because admitting that I was scared of going on T, and I still am, actually, is, I don't know, a lot of people will be like, oh, you can't be trans then. But yeah, it is okay to be scared, and in the end you just have to take a risk, because that's what life's about. So yeah, you're going to risk that you're going to be wrong, and you might be wrong, but you just got to go with it, really. What else? We've already done passing tips, haven't we? What other tips? Coming out tips, I guess letter probably works best for the people who are really close to you, just because it gets their reactions out before they actually you know, get to talk to you, so they can process what's going on and understand it, so they know what they actually want to say, as opposed to you just seeing this crazy emotional shock that probably most of them are going to be going through. I mean, everybody's different, so you'll know best how to come out to people, but for me, letters work pretty well. I also find that if you tell them how it is, you don't say, I think maybe, you say, I am transgendered, and that is it, and you cannot stop me, kind of thing, then they tend to go along with it a lot more. And once you've got some people on your side, the more you tell other people, and these other people who are on your side are like, yeah, no, he's a dude, kind of thing, then the other people go along with it. It's all about getting people to jump on the bandwagon, really. People are really, really, what's the word? most people are really sheepy. That's not quite the word I want, but it'll do. People are really sheepy, so I guess if you come out to the right people first who will accept you, then once you've got a little bandwagon of accepting people, everybody else will jump onto it, you see. Whereas if you start coming out to people who, you know, won't like it, if there's nobody to set the example beforehand, they're obviously just going to go no. And then everybody else will already have the example of don't bother accepting that because it's shit. So, you know, nobody will accept you. Obviously this is a big generalisation. But I find it does work like that. Learn to manipulate people, that's always good. And always think positively. Positive thinking. Never underestimate it. Seriously, I'm one of the luckiest guys around. It's just because I keep thinking I'm amazing. And I keep thinking everything's going to go okay for me, so it does. It's pretty cool. So, that's my life tip for you. Think positively. It's easier said than done. A lot easier said than done. What else? I don't really have any tips, frankly, that we haven't already covered. I don't know, what kind of tips would you even want? Never mix wine with cider. That is a very good tip. And if you're feeling a bit rubbish, watch a comedy and eat a lot of chocolate and drink your favourite drink ever, preferably non-alcoholic. The alcoholic might be okay, but often that kind of exacerbates your bad mood, so that wouldn't be great. But yeah, that works. Often that's how I deal with my tranksy issues, because I have tranksy issues, obviously, sometimes, being a big tranny. And yeah, like, watch something funny, do something awesome, and you tend to forget about it after a while. And when you're buying a packer, this is a good trans tip. Okay, all these trans men seem to get massive packers and then look really stupid. Be careful. If you want a massive packer, fine. Okay? A normal sized packer, no matter what it says on the website, a normal sized packer, right, is 3.5 inches. The average penis is 3.5 inches flaccid. Harder, it's obviously longer, but flaccid is 3.5 inches. If you don't want to look like a complete prick, because frankly you're probably going to look quite young. I mean, I'm 17, but I look about 13. So obviously, you know, I'll look like a weirdo if I have some massive dick. Okay? Stop getting packers that are like 8 inches long and then being annoyed at how you look stupid. No. Get a normal size packer. That's kind of an annoyance rather than a tip, but it's a tip as well. Get a good size packer. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, join the forum with nice people, and I will see you guys next week. Yeah, sorry if that video is a bit, I didn't really know what to talk about. Yeah, see you next week.